And then the dude picks up his phone, and it's a flip phone. He opens it up, and then right after he asks the question, and it says, she says, "I'm everywhere."
Yep, I remember that.
And then I'm like, wow. So when I think about my mother's passing, dad's passing, my grandmother's, and the people in my cousins and the people that in my family that have gone on, I'm thinking they don't get a chance to be on my cell phone saying, I'm like, "Mom, where are you?" And have her pop up and say, "I'm everywhere." That would scare the fuck out of me. I'd be like, "Well, shit, you're not supposed to be everywhere. There's some shit I don't want you to see."
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's how I felt when I was in the guest room and all of a sudden Alicia's play kitchen would just start bubbling. And I'd be like, what is this? And, or like I think it was like my keyboard or something. Remember I used to add that keyboard in the guest room all the time? It was either the keyboard or Alicia's kitchen. Like, it'd just be random times. And it was right after Grandma died.
Yeah.
And I was like, she know neither one of us was ready to let her go. But she know we love her, even though we weren't physically there. You know? And I felt like, even though it was weird, it was kind of like her way of acknowledging just the simple fact that we do love her and we don't have to feel guilty about how we loved her. You know?
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't until, like, when it comes to stuff like that, like, I don't react immediately. And it took me maybe, like, 2 weeks of me listening to Alicia's little kitchen toy going off at random times. And I remember sitting in the guest room playing this song on the keyboard, and the grief finally just like hit me. And I didn't want to feel it because I felt guilty. You know, because I didn't make it so much of a point to go visit, even though, I was a teenager, I didn't have no money, you know, but I could have called more, you know. There's things that I could have done that I just didn't, you know. And despite that, you know, I loved her, she loved me, and I felt like, you know, she just kind of wanted to, she still made a way to be present, you know, with that until we were cool. At least good enough for her to transition, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess the moral of the story of our conversation here, you started with, you know, your friend and all of that. I'm like, you know, I just think that I know for me, I'm better off simply realizing that to do away with the term God and just simply say intelligence, because there is an intelligence that is beyond science reasoning. And that intelligence is what keeps this globe moving. If that intelligence is what keeps the atmosphere around the Earth, this planet Earth, that I haven't even seen planet Earth because I've never been to space. I don't know where the fuck we are.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's a whole bunch of shit that I just really just don't know. And you have to, first of all, get comfortable with the fact that you don't know that. And just simply rely on the fact that there's an intelligence that keeps us all breathing, living, and moving. And it keeps, and you have an existence because of it. And that is that's simple. It's like, just kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it simple, stupid. It's like, there's an intelligence that you don't know nothing. You don't know shit about botany. You don't know shit about, anything really. But you have to go to college and you got to read books and they try to teach you. You have to take tests and shit like that. But it's like, honestly, you really don't know anything. And you barely know yourself. Because you've never seen your brain, but you believe that's why you're talking, that's why you're seeing, that's why you can come up with creative rhymes, and that's why you can do all the things that you can do, and that's because you believe you have a brain, but you've never seen it. Nobody's cut you open, and people could take a CAT scan, and then you could say, oh, that's my brain? Really? How do I know? That could be somebody else's fucking picture. I don't know. I just really don't know. And I'm cool with the fact that I don't know a lot of things that I just don't know. Because there's a lot of things I don't even care to know.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do know is I am part of the intelligence of this existence in this universe. I'm part of it. That's why I brought up Lucy, because I'm saying that you are part of it too. You're part of the intelligence. And that's what makes you intelligent, because you have tapped into a part of it that most people haven't tapped into. Because you used the word creative the other night. And see, ordinary people don't get that phrase. They're not with you. They don't understand that. And you're like, other creatives, when I speak to other creatives, and it's like, oh, okay, so, you got a circle of friends that kind of get you. Well, that's cool. But most people don't understand that language. They're not there, which is why you write, because you have to keep what we are attempting to do is communicate to the world poetically what we see through a different lens, and try to get them to understand in a creative way, in a fun way, that they're going, wow, I never thought of it like that. And if you get that response, you might have touched somebody. This is why slam poetry, and even mine at times, because I don't consider mine slam necessarily, is untouchable. And I say untouchable because it's like, I've read stuff and I use phrases that people wouldn't know unless they were actually me.
Mm.
And that's why they chime out and be like, damn, I got to listen to that 3 or 4 times because I can't even understand what you said.
I need a dictionary.
Or I need a dictionary, right. And then it's like, and then the old dude back in Hayward, the dude you went to school with, what was his name?
You talking about
started with
Christian?
Huh?
Are you talking about Christian?
I don't know. He was one dude. He went to school with you out there at
Chabot,
when you
right?
were going to the high school.
Oh, wait. You talking about
I thought
the
it started
drum
with
player?
a D. Huh?
What did he do? Because there was a lot of people in high school.
Oh, maybe it was a C. Maybe it was corn something. It wasn't Cornell. It was Corey or something like that.
Oh, Corinthian.
I think that was him.
Yeah. We called him Corey, but Corinthian Kreiner, that was his name.
Yeah, Kreiner. I remember that name.
Yeah.
So
he's
I
still
remember
writing
letting him
too.
listen to. Huh?
He's still writing too. He's married and all that. Doing music
really?
and stuff.
Yeah. He was telling me, first thing he said when I picked him up one day or something, and he needed something. I was being cool because he was cool with you. And I let him listen. I was playing on the radio in my car, one of my tracks, and he was like, "Man, how do you use those 6-syllable words in rhythm?"
Yeah.
He was just fascinated by me using 6-syllable words, and I was like, "Man, it just kind of comes to me." And I was told a long time ago, don't dumb yourself down. Be you. Whatever you is, be you. Because if you don't, then who else will be? It's like and I said, so that's why I do what I do, and the way I do it. And I said, so the challenge is for other people to kind of understand, and you know what I'm saying. And I hope that I challenge them a little bit, And I gamble with that, and I don't know that I necessarily lost, but I did gamble with it because there were a lot of people who could not keep up. And the white people that heard me spit when I was doing the tour of Redemption, that CD, they were like, can I read that in a book someplace?
Right.
Because you saying some shit, but I want to read it
I need
because
to break
you got to
this
think
down
about
line
that.
for line.
You know what I'm saying? But I only heard that from white folks. I never heard it from black people. Because black people always have a sense of arrogancy about them that says, yeah, I knew what he was talking about. That's cool, man. Oh, yeah, snap. And I was like, that's why I wrote that one piece.
But I think it's also, too, we're very audible learners for the most part as far as culture. A lot of our stories were orated. We have a lot of communication through music and drum and dance. Writing is cool, but like when I'm looking at like just who we are, like I don't really know a lot of tribes that just sat down and wrote a bunch of stuff. And I think part of it is because we didn't need to. Like words and music is a very spiritual experience. It's very ethereal. Like I can say something to you and hit you in your heart, and you ain't gotta read it to have it hit that hard, And so I think that on some level they really do get what you're saying. They may not understand what all the words mean for, by definition or verbatim, but they know what you're saying because they can feel what you mean, in your delivery, in your context, and all this other stuff. Like them saying, I gotta hear that again, is the same as that white person saying, can I read it somewhere? Because they know, like, dang, like I need to hear that again. They need to feel those vibrations. They need to receive that message in that way. I mean, even the powers that be understand that. That's why music business is so lucrative. Because they know they control people with the music. But that's a whole nother thing.
You know what? I've been remiss. I really should send you these things. But have you ever heard The Republic that I wrote?
I don't think I've heard that one.
You got a minute?
Yeah.
Because this is one of the ones I'm sending you. I think I read this to Ivan or Alicia or something. I thought I read it to you. Anyway.
Well.
It says, help me get out of the pain. Help me forget the past so that it won't last through my seed. I need your help to forgive the memories of the many lacerations caused by the sharp debris of heartless human beings. I would love to move on from yesterday's news, the things you think, and the false lines you use. See, in the past, I was asked to get to the point because the attention span of the audience was about 3 seconds. and slowly drifting into oblivion and not listening to what I'm saying. Okay, so let's do this longer than 3 seconds at a time, and I promise to keep the lines comprehensive and linearly intensive so that the brain won't digress and become pensively remiss. Now, of this I truly promise. Reminiscence of the translucent personalities always attempting to rationalize their internalized hypothesis. I mean, am I right, or is it just me? Politics are the liquid without the sensation of flavor or taste. Constitutionally institutionalized are the lies that make the babies cry every second of every day that the birth occurs. The time clock is ticking and calculating the cycles of life, the existence of will, and the living dreams that chill the soul. The Republic is the trick, and sadly, people resemble the Matrix as the prestige of their amusement rests in the after effects. I mean, who regulates the dictionaries that dictate what was once relevant and now archaic? Choice is a voice of deeper cravings, the shavings of superconscious memories, channeling through lifetimes of directories, but today's anthologies are poetically terse in their verse. Twisted verbs and reversible blurbs coded in the words we heard. Did you hear that? Once again, the attention span is bullied by the clan of circumstantial demands, which determine your lifespan. You know they call it the built environment. Democracy. The fallacy of all hands on deck, a systems thinking approach. We should be more like the roach, able to withstand the worst of the worst. What about the whole population? The inflation of human existence is a pretense for the invisible hand to keep what's visible out of sight, right? How did the powers to be become the answers beyond reason? Too far to be treason, and yet too close to be in this season's fashion line at your local Walmart. Really? We the people should be more like smart, avoiding the darts of tart rhetorical language propagandized by the judicial-sized networks of institutionalized franchises privatized. Oops. Excuse me. Did my Fifth Amendment right make someone uptight? Well, why is it there? Is it there to just encourage despair, spill my guts, and then leave me there? A setup from the beginning. Sinning is the opposite of winning, which is what most of the Fortune 500 want us to remember. Employee is modern-day slavery, the mastery of scarcity-like thinking, while alchemy is discounted and remounted as economic nonsense. Yet, it's not hard to see the relevancy of the winning attitude. Truly, it's not rude or crude, just a certain mood to get into. You know what I mean? The selfishness of unity is a cruelty humankind has fought for millenniums. It's not the politics, the sex, or the drugs, the money or blood. It's about the love and the beginning of what it could mean spelled backwards, evolve. Debasement is a rudiment of sentiments clouding the evolution of human existence, minus the disillusionment of amendments that don't ratify, only justify another reason why to create another lie about why we all don't have the same piece of the damn pie. And to the Republic, I'm trying to understand where to get my hands on the supreme power to rule this land. Are we the Republic? A state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has elected or nominated a president rather than a monarch, or a public in reverse. Once again, the attention span of the audience is about 3 seconds, and slowly drifting into oblivion. And not listen to a goddamn thing I'm saying.
Yeah, you did read that to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I just didn't know the title of it.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been recording this conversation the past 20 minutes.
Oh, shit.